Hollywood has a brutal rule: you either fit the mold, or you don't get in the door. For decades, that meant Korean actors were handed one of two roles: the silent martial arts guy, or the tech villain with 10 lines. But something shifted, and the actors who broke through didn't just survive Hollywood. Some of them outranked the American stars they were standing next to. Here are the Korean actors who cracked Hollywood wide open, and what it actually cost them to get there. Lee Byung-hun is arguably the first Korean actor Hollywood took seriously, not as a side character, but as a recurring face in major franchises. He appeared in G.I. Joe as Storm Shadow, then came back for the sequel, then showed up in Terminator Genesis as the T-1000, a role made famous by Robert Patrick. He also starred opposite Anthony Hopkins and Al Pacino in Misconduct. In Korea, he was already a legend, the only actor to sell out Tokyo Dome with 45,000 fans. But Hollywood still made him fight for every inch. He was one of the first 2 Korean actors ever honored with a hand and footprint ceremony at the TCL Chinese Theatre. That's not a small thing. That's the same wall as Marilyn Monroe and James Dean. Here's the detail most people don't know. Dong-seok actually lived in Ohio and holds American citizenship, which means technically, he came back to Hollywood, not toward it. He moved to Korea to build his career, became a breakout star in Train to Busan, and then Marvel came calling. He joined the MCU in Eternals as Gilgamesh. The irony: he had to become one of Korea's biggest action stars before Hollywood recognized someone who was already on American soil. His story is basically proof that the industry wasn't looking for Korean talent. They were waiting to be forced into it. Rain was a global pop star before he was a Hollywood actor. He sold out Madison Square Garden as a solo artist, which opened doors no audition could. That leverage got him into Speed Racer and Ninja Assassin. But here's the uncomfortable truth: neither film was a box office win. Speed Racer bombed hard in the US. Hollywood gave him a shot, and then didn't know what to do with him. Rain's Hollywood chapter is less a success story and more a cautionary tale about what happens when the industry casts someone as a novelty rather than an actor. He eventually returned to Korea, where he's remained one of the biggest names in entertainment. Hollywood's loss, frankly. Park Seo-joon went from K-drama heartthrob to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Marvels as Prince Yan. His acting is particularly noted for its comedic timing and emotional range. His Marvel role was relatively brief, but that's how almost every Korean actor starts in Hollywood. The difference is the trajectory. After Itaewon Class made him a global name on Netflix, he wasn't auditioning for Hollywood anymore. Hollywood was approaching him. That shift in who holds the power is everything. He's one of the clearest examples of how streaming changed the rules of this game entirely. There's a before and after in this story, and Squid Game is the dividing line. In the past, Korean actors were given minor supporting roles. Now actors are stepping into mid-tier lead roles, a meaningful step up. Daniel Henney, one of the earliest Korean faces in Hollywood, described it plainly. Back then, nearly every role for Asian male actors existed to support white male leads, tied to martial arts or kung fu stereotypes. That was the ceiling. Now Park Hae-soo, Squid Game's Park Cho-sang, is headlining Amazon's spy thriller Butterfly as a lead, not support. The industry didn't change out of generosity. It changed because Korean content started generating numbers Hollywood couldn't ignore. The pattern across all of these actors is the same. Hollywood didn't discover them. They built enough power elsewhere that Hollywood had no choice. Lee Byung-hun dominated Asian box offices. Rain packed arenas worldwide. Dong-seok became irreplaceable in Korean action cinema. Park Seo-joon conquered Netflix. The lesson isn't that Hollywood finally became open-minded. It's that leverage is the only language that moves the needle. And right now, Korean actors have more of it than ever before. So the real question is, who's next? Drop your pick in the comments.